Everyone loves Super Smash Bros. It's just a fact of life. And who can really blame us? There's a lot to love about the series, whether it be the thrills and chills of the competitive scene, the fun and frantic chaos of casual Smash, or simply the raw joy of seeing your favorite character getting added to the game. Yo! ARMS? Let's go! Well, I don't care about any of that crap. I love Smash because of all the funny shit. That's why I decided to create a theoretical character that combines all of Smash Ultimate's funniest moves and mechanics. Of course, my sense of humor is what some might call bad. So, this is all completely subjective. It's just based on what moves made me go the most, based on their effects and their animations. I will be going through every single normal move slot, and assigning one of each to this character, as well as additional things such as their stats, taunts, and gimmick mechanic. This idea was inspired by TC Nick 3's video about creating the strongest character in Smash Ultimate. So, big shout out to him, and you should absolutely check out his video. After mine, of course. With that out of the way, let's get started with the general stats of this character, who we'll just call Franklin for the sake of brevity. In terms of what character Franklin would go over, it could be none other than he's got so many goofy animations and expressions, the most out of any character in the game in my opinion. He's just built different, built better, some might say. So he'll be used as Franklin's shell. We'll just do a little bit of this and boom! He's a completely different character now. No copyright infringement here. He may be built like Wario, but he sure ain't gonna sound like Wario. Voice lines are a very important part of making a character funny, so I decided to do a little bit of cheating. Franklin will have Smash 4 Ganon's voice, which is just hysterical to me for some reason. It just sounds like an old man trying very hard to sound menacing, to questionable success we'll say, with the killing me every time I hear it. In terms of movement, floaty jumps will always put a big dumb smile on my face, so Franklin will have Yoshi's movement stats. Yoshi is quick as hell, with a double jump that's floaty as hell, and has the benefit of armor for some godforsaken reason, and armor is always very silly. He will have Bowser's weight, since being heavy means lasting longer, and lasting longer means more time for Franklin to cook up some shenanigans. And if you want me to be able to continue my shenanigans for a long time to come, you should smash that subscribe button. It's vital to the future of my channel. Moving on to the actual moves, I'll begin with the standard round of moves. Jabs, for the most part, aren't particularly interesting, usually just being simple 1-2-3s or quick flurries to the same attack. While there are some that have some level of goofiness, Kazuya's 10-hit combo is unmatched on the scale of goof. Bro just throws out 10 moves in rapid succession. Putting so much work into a combo, it doesn't actually combo very well. He do be swinging though, and I'm sure we all want to see Franklin swing as well, so that will be his jab. Forward tilt is also a pretty no-nonsense type of move, so this pick was pretty tricky. There are some funny ones like K-Rool's big clap and Alimar's big punch, but the idea of Franklin's arm randomly extending for F-tilt and no other move is just hysterical to me, so I went with Min-Min's. Up tilts are almost universally quick anti-air moves, so my pick for Franklin is the one that does that in the funniest manner, Villagers. This doesn't even look like an attack, it just looks like they're casually twirling a stick in the air, clueless to the opponent's existence, and that's just very funny. They're just like me. Head, completely empty. Down tilts are mostly standard downward swipes, but there are a few humorous exceptions like the DDD roll and Bowser Jr.'s tongue action, which is the one I ultimately decided upon. Who wouldn't want to get tongued by a guy who looks like this? Wait a minute, does that make me weird? Well, regardless, the idea of Franklin licking his foes is undeniably comedic. Our last standard grounded move is dash attack, which goes to King Dedede eating no contest. Sure, there are other dash attacks that involve characters tripping, but none can do it like the king, baby. Franklin is learning from the best. Next up are the silliest of smash attacks that will give Franklin's kill power most preposterous. Forward smash options include Bowser's massive dropkick that surprises even him when it hits, Sonic's punch that warps opponents through space and time, Snake's big ass boosh, and Peach's various assortment of torture devices. I chose Peach's due to the variety it offers, with each option being very funny with their own specific sound effect. It also lets me mix jokes about,
now watch this drive.
Up smash wasn't nearly as contentious, with the biggest standout for me being Snake's Mortar. You know, I could say this for a lot of moves, but this one begs the question, where the f does Snake keep this thing? With all the explosives he has hidden on him, I'm surprised he doesn't accidentally nuke himself mid-battle. Tangent aside, seeing our boy Franklin pull out a big-ass mortar out of thin air would just add to his wackiness. Down smash has a lot of potential options. Oh, who am I kidding? It's absolutely Game & Watch's down smash. Bro, I'll be pounding the dirt more than Pokemon fans whenever we bring up this tree. The spammability and animation of this move never ceases to crack me up, making it a perfect fit for good old Franklin. To round out Franklin's strictly grounded attacks, we'll quickly go over his grab, pummel, and throws. You'll have Yoshi's tongue grab as well as his vor pummel. Forward throw will be Donkey Kong's versatile cargo throw. Back throw will be Mario's "So long, Gay Bowser." Up throw will be Game & Watch's little juggle, and down throw will be Snake's wholesome caress. These ones are objectively the funniest, so if you disagree with these choices, you're just wrong. It's time that we give Franklin some amusing aerials. Neutral airs are mostly just spin moves and sex kicks, which are only really funny because of the name, rather than, you know, the actual move. I ended up giving Franklin Game & Watch's an air because it's one of the few that breaks from these trends, and the animation for the move is just hilarious to me. You can just spawn fish at will to murder you. Those are the types of shenanigans that Franklin needs. While we're at it, back air is also Game & Watch's, as it continues a trend of weaponizing aquatic creatures to assault the enemy, which is just objectively hysterical. There wasn't really much competition for the slot either, since most back airs are pretty basic. For forward air, I could go with the low-hanging fruit of Mario's forward aerial, but that joke has run its course, so I decided to look elsewhere. I landed on a similar move, Snake Stare, which just looks like he's doing a big leg stretch. Yeah, it's pretty stupid, but I already told you my sense of humor is bad, so what'd you expect? Up air was a toss-up between two very similar moves, Game & Watch's and Mega Man's. The Mistress has a sillier animation, while the effects of Mega Man's are just straight up wacky with the wind boxes. I give the edge to the double M's, since it just causes opponents to go flying at Mach 5 out of nowhere, and it kills me every time I see it happen. I knew for a fact going into this that Franklin's down air would be a stall and fall. They just really embrace the classic concept of
suicide is badass,
which rings true to me in Smash. I initially considered Sephiroth's spoiler dare due to the sheer audacity of it, but it can't compete with Sora's in terms of sheer zaniness. This downward spin is so strange and dumb looking that I can't help but burst out laughing whenever I gaze upon its glory. Goofy would be so proud of a move so goofy. God, I'm running out of ways to call things funny, but it's fine because
it's time for the moment you've been waiting for.
That's right, the specials. The moves that will send Franklin from being mildly amusing. Peak humor. Jumping right in with neutral special, there are so many great options. Wario's Chop, Yoshi's Tongue, Diddy's Suck, Diddy's Peanuts, Duck Hunt's Can, Doc's Pills, Plant's Patooey, Zitter's Lariat, Falcon Punch, and its sequel were all considered. But it ultimately had to be Game & Watch's Chef. Just look at it, it's the perfect move for Franklin. The janky animation and the fact that he's literally just flinging food menacingly combined to create true comedy. And we all want to see Franklin's meat. It's not just me, right? The forward special slot also has options to spare, such as PK Fire, Alolan Whip, Wario Bike, Minecart, Flying Slam, Fishing Rod, Green Missile, Roller, and Nikita. My first pick was Game & Watch's Judge due to its fun RNG moments, but its humor is inconsistent due to that, and Game & Watch already has a lot of representation on Frank. Plus, I remembered a different move that I find a bit funnier. Flare Blitz. As a self-described bad player, I love throwing this move out. My motto when playing Charizard is "F it, we Flare Blitz." If it hits, the opponent usually just evaporates into nothingness, and I'm always cheesing when it does. One of the most satisfying and silly moves in the game if you ask me. Up Special, on the other hand, doesn't have as many great options. Little Max Recovery is funny in a pathetic sort of way. Wii Fit's certifiably goofy, and Suicide Up Beats can lead to some amusing kills. The one that makes me giggle the most is Byleth's Up Special. This move is like the ultimate Uno reverse card. Oh, you're above me and about to spike me? Well, f you, not anymore. Now I'm all the way up here and you're down in hell, where you belong. Using this move commonly leads to hilarious situations due to its effects, so it will surely become a cherished part of Franklin's moveset. Also, I envision Franklin performing this move with his tongue for some reason, so that gives it extra silly points. Lastly, we have the down special, which does not disappoint in terms of excellent choices. There's Wario's Waft, Bowser's Bomb, Wii Fit's Deep Breathing, Incineroar's Revenge, Diddy's Banana, DK's Big Slappy, and Duck Hunt's Homies. I really considered Hero's Menu of Trickery for the variety, but that would require an MP meter, and I only want to give Franklin one gimmick mechanic. And I have something wackier in mind for that one. We'll just go with Pac-Man's Hydrant, which is just absolutely hysterical to me. Why this hydrant that was only in one game 40 years ago appears into Pac-Man's moveset is beyond me, but I'm so grateful that it is. It's versatile in its hilarity, as it can be used to camp, but like, in a funny way. It can also be dropped on opponents trying to recover, and it can be launched at blistering speeds towards your foes. Just imagine Franklin knocking the hydrant away with Peach's F-Smash or Flare Blitz, and the ridiculous kills it can cause. It would be a sight to behold. Franklin now has all of his standard moves, and is well on his way to being the funniest character in Smash Ultimate, but we aren't done just quite yet. There are some additional things needed to round out his Looney Tunes-ass kit. Firstly, there are the taunts, which can be a bit tricky because a lot of taunts are carried by their associated voice lines, but Franklin is going to sound like... So I scoured the characters to find taunts that had funny animations. We'll go through these quickly. There were several zany up taunts that would fit the bill for Franklin, but I decided to go with the classic, Snake's Stupid Box. It's simple but very effective in its comedy. Side taunt will go to Steve and his Meat Eat. Like I said earlier, we all want to see Franklin's meat in 4K, and this gives us a perfect opportunity to do so. For down taunt, we will go with Jigglypuff's Deflation, so everyone will get to experience the joys of deflated Franklin. It's something that everyone needs to see at least once in their life. The true 8th wonder of the world. It's now time to get a little cheesy and pick what Franklin's gimmick mechanic should be. These mechanics are mostly pretty broken and pretty funny, whether it be Joker's Arsene, Terry's Go, Sephiroth's One Wing, or Kazuya's Rage. I decided to go with none of those options in favor of something much dumber and sillier. Nana. The idea of Nana following Franklin around and just using regular Icy's moves just cracks me up. You could probably even let him perform some crazy combos. Or she might just die immediately. I have no idea. All I know for sure is that she would make Franklin goofier than ever. To finish things out, we need to give Franklin a final smash. The options include Bowser's
There comes a giant fish!
Falcon hitting people with his silly little car, Olimar noping the f*** out before his foes are eaten alive, Snake just nuking everything whether it moves or not, Jigglypuff's inflation fetish, but the funniest has got to be Duck Hunt's. He forces you down the sketchiest of alleyways and has the boys waiting there to gun you down with no mercy. It's a goddamn firing squad in my silly Nintendo game, and I love it so much. It's violence and goofiness mixed together in cooked perfection, making it the perfect move to cap off Franklin's kit. And there you have it, my take on the funniest character in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. It was a pretty difficult process of narrowing down all the potential options, but I'm pretty satisfied with how he turned out. Franklin is pretty sexy if I do say so myself. But what do you guys think? Is Franklin a perfect being, or are there some things that can be changed about him? Comment down below about it, and while you're at it, you can also subscribe and like. It's greatly appreciated, and you'll get to see my future content. You can also follow me on Twitch, so you can see me in my raw, unedited glory. Links are down in the description. With that all being said, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out. God damn, this guy's so uncomfortable. I think I might need to get a new seat for the setup, you guys. This guy's just not cutting it anymore.